I know I'm a bit late on this, but I fell asleep on Friday, so I didn't get to cover this. The situation has even reached CN's side, and they're hella mad. Oh my goodness. Did Mr. Genazad piss off the entirety of China? Okay, now I'm genuinely curious. Can I find this on Bilibili? Is that possible? It's a translated reaction? That's crazy. All right, chat. With my limited Chinese, I mean, the video's in English probably, but with my limited Chinese, I will try to translate this with the best of my abilities. Relax. I've been to Panda Express multiple times. I can do this. For those that are unaware of the drama, basically a Wuthering Waves content creator rated the story a 7 out of 10, but they didn't really pay attention apparently during the story, but they gave it a rating anyway, so people are pissed off, not because he gave a rating, but because he gave a rating when he didn't pay attention. So that's basically the entire drama. It's very overblown, but I gotta farm it. I can just translate the entire page into... Wait, can I do that? The name. A rating storm triggered the Narushio Civil War Genazad 7 out of 10. Full record of the incident. Glaive Kyo What is this? Why am I watching an English video on a Chinese site? Okay, I'll be honest with you. I don't need to translate. It's in English. The subtitles are in Chinese, though. Okay, I'll be honest with you. You're gonna have to deal with like the video being in like 480p because you need like an account on Bilibili to watch this.
That is never acceptable.
This
video is an analysis.
By the way, Glaive literally cried during the Wuthering Waves quests. To be fair, I think a lot of people cried during gacha quests for some reason. I don't know why. Like everyone's like, I cried during a Genshin Impact quest. I cried during a Wuthering Waves quest. I'm like, it cannot be that emotional, right?
Genazad's reaction to the initial criticism went beyond a poor response. It became an incendiary escalation.
Is this basically what I just said before?
By an overwhelming consensus, the 2.5 story was a triumph. The community erupted. On forums and social media, people called it pure cinema, hailing it as a new benchmark for narrative quality. They got exactly what they wanted. Frolova remained a complex, compelling, and ultimately villainous character without a cheap redemption arc. This acclaim was also widespread. You had measured positive
like killing the villain kind of thing, like a villain character got killed off.
We first have to understand the community itself. There is a unique dynamic between the Wuthering Waves player base and the developer Kuro Games. Through a well-documented history of the developers listening intently to feedback and rapidly improving the game, an unusual bond was formed. The community feels less like simple.
But didn't you guys say you hate Kuro Games or something like that because like the game's getting worse? Well, at least that's what Tectone said. I don't know. You guys make it sound like the game's getting worse, so it's like are they listening or not?
In gacha games, there is a predictable pattern where a compelling villain becomes popular, gets a tragic backstory and a change of heart, and suddenly stops being a villain so they...
That's literally Child Skara. Every playable harbinger in Genshin Impact basically is not really a villain. Arlenchino is not really a villain, no? All the playable ones. If it's not playable, nobody cares. Because to me, the Fatui harbingers should be like dark heroes. Like they are fighting against Celestia, but at the same time they're not afraid of like doing whatever it takes, you know, kind of thing. I feel like they give that kind of vibe, but everyone so far kind of like it's not really giving me that kind of vibe. It's like an anti-hero, right? Anti-hero. So everybody agreed that the story was good, right? Like basically everyone on the planet agreed that the story was good. I didn't do it, so I'm just gonna go with like the consensus here. The story was absolute peak, as Mr. Doro44 would say.
Frolova remained a complex, compelling, and ultimately villainous character without a cheap redemption.
Those are fun.
This acclaim
I think
was
those are
also
fun.
Widespread. You had measured...
I think those are very fun. Like a villain character that gets what they deserve. Like there's no redeeming quality. Kinda rare sometimes in like these generic shonen storylines.
The first real note of drama appeared, coming from a content creator named Genazad. This is where
I think
the
he's the only one. I'll be
began.
completely honest with you. He might be the only one that gave it a 7 out of 10. But people are mad that he gave it a 7 out of 10, you know? That's not the issue, right? The issue is that he didn't pay attention to the full entire story. He didn't lock in for the full... He didn't give the story a 100% of his attention. And that's why he got flamed, right?
His engagement with the story was compromised. He was seen talking over important cutscenes, constantly interacting with his chat, and generally not giving the narrative his full attention.
Well, to be fair, I feel like he just doesn't have a really big reaction. Like you can't really tell, right? He might just not have like a really big reaction.
He found the plot confusing and Frolova's dialogue too poetic, which diminished his experience.
I genuinely... What does that even mean, by the way? What does it mean by it's too poetic? He means he doesn't like words. Okay, I don't think that's what he means. That's like a really weird review. It's too poetic.
You cannot fairly judge a story for being confusing if you weren't
True.
giving the attention required to be understood.
Yeah,
It is
true. I mean, to be fair, he did say, I sort of defended that. Like, you can't really tell. Like, he might just not have a really big reaction kind of thing. Like, he could be paying attention and also paying attention to chat, but he could be paying attention and he's not reacting. But he did say in the video that he wasn't paying 100% attention, you know? In his own words, he missed some of the stuff. He did say that, you know? So that's not 100% attention.
The 7 out of 10 became a symbol of what they saw as low-effort critique, and that perceived breach of contract
I guess it is.
It's not even worthwhile reading comments when it's about Wuthering Waves, because it's just the dumbest humans in existence always comment.
Isn't he a Wuthering Waves content creator? He's flaming his own game's community? Well, I've never.
Even though I play more Wuthering Waves than them, even though I spend
Ah,
more money
there
on
it is.
Wuthering
There's
Waves
a
than them,
sentence.
even though I
There
probably
it
enjoy
is.
the game more than
There
them,
it
that's
is.
why I actually give complaints about things that matter.
That's
You know what?
where
Why am I
the
being
entire
invited
earthquake
to-
started.
reportedly declaring that the Wuthering Waves community Kurobots didn't deserve to live. He had stopped engaging with the critique.
Okay,
and
did he
began a
actually say that?
broadside-
Nah, did he actually say that though?
They're too stupid to live.
Okay, all right, man. All right, okay.
spending most of the video justifying his 7 out of 10 score while barely addressing the on-stream meltdown that caused the real
Man, dude, it's crazy how a genuine apology, just saying sorry, you don't even have to be deep about it, just say sorry, can go a long way, you know?
It was no longer a debate about a video game review. By insulting the entire community, he made it
True.
a matter of respect. He was
Yeah.
trying to win an argument. The community was now trying.
Yep. I guess his like wording or the way he chose to crash out was the issue. I'm pretty sure he did say sorry in his apology video, but also why should he apologize about his rating on the story? Here's the thing. He doesn't have to, but at the same time, he gave it a rating when you didn't pay 100% attention to the story. Think of it like this. You're watching a movie. It's like an hour, 30 minutes. Like usually movies are like an hour, 30 minutes, like 2 hours long. You know, give it 2 hours, you know, like Avengers Infinity War was like 2 hours, 3 hours, right? So during middle of the movie, you went to the bathroom for 40 minutes and then you come back and you finish watching the movie and then you give it a 7 out of 10. Like you can't say you missed like literally a fourth of the movie and be like 7 out of 10. Like it's not about the rating at that point. It's about you giving a rating when you didn't lock in the entire time. People do that all the time. People do that all the time. But at the same time, as a content creator, as a public figure, you're kind of putting your rating out to the public, right? Don't you do that? You say Genshin Story sucks and skip it every single time. Yeah, that's why I don't rate it. That's my point. Like you never see me giving a rating to the story, right? It's like you every single time anybody asks me about like, do you like the story? I'm like, I don't know. I skipped all of it. I didn't pay attention. You know, like I don't give it a rating. You could skip everything and rate it a 10 out of 10. You could. But you also cannot be pissed when people are pissed off at you for doing that. His crash out wouldn't have happened if he just realized that his rating was not valid because he didn't pay complete attention to the story, you know? Like I said, it wouldn't have been like this. Like a small bonfire became a forest fire after the crash out. But what if he did that and gave the story a 9? Would they still say that? That's a good question. That's like a different reality that we will never see because, you know, like all these what ifs, right? What ifs. Most streamer rated a 9 out of 10, so it's not a problem. Honestly, if he went down that route, if he glazed it more than he did, I think it wouldn't have been an issue.
Primary vector for this was the influential creator Tectone. After hearing Genazat's side, the complex
big man
situation was
himself.
boiled
Uh-oh! Yeah, Wuthering Waves community is so different from Genshin's community, huh?
I mean, to be fair, I feel like Tectone only heard like half the story. Like he didn't really look too into it. That's his roommate probably, right? Because he was standing right there. Like, I mean, maybe he's trusting his roommate's side of the story a bit too much. You think it's scripted? Maybe this entire drama is scripted. I don't know. Maybe I'm scripted. Am I scripted?
It was easy to understand, dramatic, perfectly into the drama farming economy of online content.
Yes!
Quickly becoming the dominant version of events
me.
for
They're
outsiders.
talking about me.
The creator EO saw the community pushback because he had a habit of posting incredibly vague critiques. When he was asked for clarification, he would crash out. The core problem was the complete lack of
Satan and Tech just started talking about the drama and then went talking about other random stuff. Satan is the biggest problem with Wuthering Waves community. I'm not familiar with Saint. Which Genshin Impact content creator is he similar to? Me! Sane is #1 Kurobot. I don't think we have a #1 Hoyo shill though. Who's the #1 Hoyo shill? Ziox? Ziox doesn't talk about drama though. He only plays the game. He doesn't critique the game, but at the same time, he doesn't praise the game. Let me look at some Saints videos. I mean, like, I don't think there's a single Genshin Impact content creator that has titles similar to these. Maybe Brand, because Brand does like drama videos, but Brand doesn't really criticize it this hard. Like, you would never see this title. Does that make sense? Saint tried dunking on ZZZ and got him back. Yeah, Brand just does reactions. So it's you? How's it me? How's it me? Come on, man, come on. Saint doesn't even play these games. He mainly plays Wuthering Waves. He only logged into ZZZ to shit on a game. He only logs into the game to shit on the game. Yeah, why? Why though? You can do that. You just log in and shit on the game. You can do that? Dude, I heard of logging into the game to do dailies. I've never heard of logging into a game just to flame the game. Maybe that's his form of dailies, you know? He did vids about ZZZ Endgame. How can you make videos on ZZZ Endgame when you haven't played ZZZ Endgame? From a content creator point of view, I feel like you cannot put a rating on something if you haven't done it. Like, that's like me putting out a video on ZZZ Endgame when I don't even know what ZZZ Endgame is. Like, I can probably look at it and see what it is, but if I haven't played it, I feel like I can't judge it.
It began with a review people felt was unfair because the creator seemed distracted. It
Yep.
blew up when the same creator had a massive insulting crash out on his stream.
All right, nice. Yeah, pretty much, I feel like it's pretty much on point with my analysis, no? I feel like. But, wait. How's the... Dude, what are these ads? What are the Chinese comments saying? I want to see the Chinese comments. So the videos of those black guys having sex are satirizing this. Wait, what the fuck? Log in to see 161 comments. Eat, gua, and understand. In fact, the problem is not that he scored 7 points, but the reason why he scored 7 points is very nonsense. And then the community's dissatisfaction with him broke out when he showed a superior attitude and attacked other players AoE. Isn't this the same operation that someone in the domestic community has been doing recently while eating Narushio? What's Narushio? To encourage players to catch up with Narushio. Wait, is this Chinese translation for Wuthering Waves? Oh, it is. In fact, a score of 9 or 7 is normal. The problem lies in his unobtrusive and reckless speech. When faced with other people's doubts, you don't charge as much money as me. You don't love this game. You clowns are not qualified to evaluate me attitude. I mean, that pretty much aligns with what everyone else thinks, right? I thought the Chinese community would have a bigger outrage, but this seems pretty reasonable to me.